President also authorizes Pentagon to use commercial aircraft to import supplies amid growing Joe Biden has invoked the Defense Production Act to speed production of infant formula and authorized flights to import supply from overseas, as he faces mounting political pressure over a domestic shortage caused by the safety-related closure of the country's largest formula manufacturer. The Defense Production Act order requires suppliers of formula manufacturers to fulfill orders from those companies before other customers, in an effort to eliminate production bottlenecks. Biden is also authorizing the Defense Department to use commercial aircraft to fly formula supplies that meet federal standards from overseas to the U.S., in what the White House is calling Operation Fly Formula. Supplies of baby formula across the country have been severely curtailed in recent weeks after a February recall by Abbott Nutrition exacerbated supply chain disruptions among formula makers, leaving fewer options on store shelves and increasingly anxious parents struggling to find nutrition for their children. "I know parents across the country are worried about finding enough formula to feed their babies," Biden said in a video statement released by the "As a parent and as a grandparent, I know just how stressful that is." Wednesday's announcement comes 2 days after the Food and Drug Administration said it was streamlining its review process to make it easier for foreign manufacturers to begin shipping more formula into the U.S. In a letter on Wednesday to the Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Agriculture, Biden directed the agencies to work with the Pentagon to identify overseas supply of formula that meets U.S. standards over the next week, so that chartered Defense Department flights can swiftly fly. Imports of baby formula will serve as a bridge to this ramped-up production. Regulators said on Monday that they'd reached a deal to allow Abbott Nutrition to restart its Sturgis, Michigan, plant, the nation's largest formula plant, which has been closed since February due to contamination issues. The company must overhaul its safety protocols and procedures before resuming. After getting the Food and Drug Administration's okay, Abbott said it would take 8 to 10 weeks before new products began arriving in store. The company didn't set a timeline to restart manufacturing. "I've directed my team to do everything possible to ensure there's enough safe baby formula and that it is quickly reaching families that need it the most," Biden said in the statement, calling it one of my top priorities. The White House actions come as the Democratic-led House is expected to approve 2 bills on Wednesday addressing the baby formula shortage as lawmakers look to show progress on what has become a frightening development for many families. One bill expected to have wide bipartisan support would give the Agriculture Secretary the ability to issue a narrow set of waivers in the event of the goal is to give participants in an assistance program commonly known as WIC the ability to use vouchers to purchase formula from any producer rather than be limited to one brand that may. The WIC program accounts for about half of infant formula sales in the U.S. The other measure, a $28 million emergency spending bill to boost resources at the FDA, is expected to have less bipartisan support and it's unclear whether the Senate will take it up. This is throwing more FDA staff at a problem that needs more production, not more FDA staff, said the Michigan Republican Representative Bill Heising. Rosa DeLauro, the Democratic chair of the House Appropriations Committee, said the money would increase FDA staffing to boost inspections of domestic and international suppliers, prevent fraudulent products from getting onto store shelves and acquire better data on the marketplace. Abbott's voluntary recall was triggered by 4 illnesses reported in babies who had consumed powdered formula from its plant. All 4 infants were hospitalized with a rare type of bacterial infection and after a 6-week inspection, FDA investigators published a list of problems in March, including lax safety and sanitary standards and a history of bacterial contamination in several parts of the plant. Under Monday's agreement, Abbott must regularly consult with an outside safety expert to restart and maintain production. Chicago-based Abbott has emphasized that its products have not been directly linked to the bacterial infection. Samples of the bacteria found at its plant did not match the strains collected from 2 babies by federal investigators. But FDA officials pushed back on that reasoning Monday on a call with reporters, their first time publicly addressing the company's argument. FDA staffers noted they had been unable to collect bacterial strains from 2 of the 4 patients, limiting their chances of finding a match. Right from the get-go we were limited in our ability to determine with a causal link whether the product was linked to these 4 cases because we only had sequences on 2, the FDA's food director, Susan Main, said. Fixing the violations uncovered at Abbott's plant will take time, according to former FDA officials. Companies need to exhaustively clean the facility and equipment, retrain staff, repeatedly test and document there is no contamination. As part of the FDA's new import policy, regulators said companies would need to provide documentation of their factories' inspections. As you're joining us today from Vietnam, we have a small favor to ask. Tens of millions have placed their trust in The Guardian's fearless journalism since we started publishing 200 years ago, turning to us in moments of crisis, uncertainty, solidarity and more than 1.5 million supporters, from 180 countries, now power us financially, keeping us open to all, and fiercely and unlike many others, The Guardian has no shareholders and no billionaire owner. Just the determination and passion to deliver high-impact global reporting, always free from commercial or political. Reporting like this is vital for democracy, for fairness, and to demand better. And we provide all this for free, for everyone to read. We do this because we believe in information equality. Greater numbers of people can keep track of the global events shaping our world, understand their impact on people and communities, and become inspired to take meaning. Millions can benefit from open access to quality, truthful news, regardless of their ability to pay for it. If there were ever time to join us, it is now. Every contribution, however big or small, powers our journalism and sustains our future.